What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're doing something a little bit different from the 350Z build, and in today's video we will be talking about why the 350Z is the best budget build drift car for 2022. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and just check out all the rest of the videos on the channel, and hope you guys enjoy this content today. Let's get started. Now, with the recent spike of all used car prices in the used car market, there has been a lot of issues for a lot of people that have been trying to get into drifting or into the drift scene, trying to find a car that is not over 10 grand. A lot of cars like the 240, the RX-7, the older models, as well as some cars like the Chaser and the S15 are known JDM drifting legend vehicles, but they're very hard to find for one, most of them being that they are JDM imports, meaning they'll be a lot more expensive. Now, the 240 has definitely skyrocketed in prices now that they are very, very scarce, and everyone has pretty much either wrecked them or the insurance has completely made them a total loss, even from the slightest fender bender. The next step would probably be the JDM cars, but sometimes they just don't give you the big. So what will be the next most decent, great power base, great central wheel base car? Of course, it's gonna be the car that is hated of all, the trumpet loud 350Z. Now, you're probably thinking I'm crazy, but here, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of the statistics of 350Z so you can see why it is the perfect and the cheapest car to build for a drift project. First things first, the 350Z is able to just drift straight out of the market, just straight stock. However, there are some certain circumstances and things that you need to look out for when getting a 350Z that you want to take and have ready for the track. The first thing you want to make sure you get is either the touring or the other sport models that come with the LSD viscous package. The 350Z's enthusiast model or the base model does not carry the LSD at all. It carries an open diff. In technical terms, the open diff only has one wheel spin while the other one travels a certain type of speed, which is not really ideal for drifting. Another great thing that you would want to look out for is to make sure it comes with the updated CD009 transmission. Now, this transmission usually comes in the 2005 to 2009 models due to the old CD08 transmission or the CD01 that had failed synchros, which caused gear grinding and eventually just transmission loss in general. Another thing you want to look out for is the engine model. Now, all the engines are quite exceptional, especially for drifting. The best motor they have ever produced for the 350Z was the HR, which is what they call the high rev. Now, the difference between the DE and the high rev is that one has a lot lower oil consumption issue, as well as a lot sturdier, more reliable, and it has a better power base. The HR model starts in 2007 and ends in 2008 after the last production year of the 350Z. Probably also wondering now, so what do I do to go ahead and go and drift my car? Well, the biggest thing that you can do for the 350Z is just go out there, go to a local track, because I do not promote street drifting, and just get some seat time. Get some seat time, learn the car. It has an amazing 50-50 balance ratio with the car. It is perfectly balanced. It is the perfect handling machine for going out there to drift. Now, after you've gotten used to it and you want to learn some more edgy stuff in drifting, we're going to go on to our next step, and that is going to be the mods you would want to do to get some competition going on for your 350Z out there in the drift world. My recommendation, and the first thing you should do after you've finally gotten your seat time in and buckled down on your drifting skills, is go ahead and go get you a nice pair of coilovers. Now, it is very important that you pick up a good brand with a nice stiff suspension setup with nice ride height and nice ride quality. The coilovers will help stiffen up the suspension of the vehicle, give you a better feel for the car. The car will have less body roll, which in turn will be able to help you kick out the rear end of that car and give you that beautiful fishtail that you've always wanted. Now, a good set of coilovers is probably gonna run you around $800 to even $2,000, but the average range, I would say, for a nice set, probably about 800 to 1,000 bucks. Now you can look at BC coilovers, which is the go-to for a 350Z. My car runs K-Sport, but I don't do drifting, but it also rides pretty nice, so you guys can also look into that as well. The next modification that you can do for your 350Z to get better in the drift game is to be able to increase your steering angle. The steering angle can be increased by upgrading and getting extended inner tie rods for your vehicle in the front wheelbase suspension system. The extended tie rods are going to be able to give you an increased steering angle, which is able to let you make a wider angle in your car. Making wider turns also helps improve your drift for those really sideways boy action. That sideways boy action is the best thing you want. You want to be able to hit that wall, you want to tap it, you're going to need it. The biggest brand to do the extended tie rods is going to be Tane, and I believe the pricing is about $300 to about $400 to add to your vehicle, and it is not that much of a lengthy process. You'll also need a steering angle spacer to increase that length so you're not hitting the lower compression arms on the car and destroying the integrity of the vehicle by hitting the frame. Lastly, it is also a very important note. Remember how I mentioned the LSD package that you should get for the 350? Well, a lot of these LSDs now in the 350, since they're about almost 17 years old, depending on what year you've got, have started to lose their viscosity, turning them into a open diff where you usually only get one wheel spinning. Z1 has a huge catalog on different types of LSDs you can get, and they are able to set you up with a whole lot of variety and anything you want to choose from. And even if you don't want to do it yourself, you can have that diff either sent out or bring it to them if you're local, and you can get your car ready to get back on these roads and rip it. A good note to follow if you want to also get into drifting even harder will probably be getting a hydro, even though a lot of pro drifters do not recommend using a hydro because it becomes like a crutch to you as you always depend on it, rather than trying to use your speed and your angle to make a better drift for competition if that's what you're trying to do in the future. Lastly, the most important tool of all for the 350Z is to have a pair of tools, guys. Make sure you go get things like impact guns, jack stands, a jack, and just a basic toolkit with your basic 10 millimeters all the way to about 19 to 21. It'll help you out when you're on the track if anything were to go wrong, so you don't have to wait long periods of time trying to get the car fixed by waiting for someone to bring stuff, and you get more seat time. So overall, what is the price? What is the price is gonna cost you to get all of this stuff down, and why I have been insisting this entire time that the 350Z is the perfect and the most budget-friendly drift car. Although the market is kind of high on used market cars, the 350 still stands to be, give or take, depending on condition, from anywhere between $6 grand to 10 grand. So they're still a lot cheaper than the other competitors that are a lot slower and need a lot more work to actually become drift stable. And follow up with mods that I just mentioned here, you are going to be pretty much set for the perfect track build, especially for a beginner. And then maybe in the future you can do other things like motor swaps and things like that, which cost a lot of money, so we're not going to express those prices. But alright, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. Remember, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next one. I'll be making more videos like this more often. I really had fun with this, so we'll see you soon. Peace.